it was a little bit of an unusual spring. We had some some late snow, and that kind of changed up our schedule a little bit. But at the same time, I thought our players came out of it very well. We learned a lot about ourselves. We got better as spring ball went through, and now as we've led into the summer, I think our kids have been doing a very good job with our strength coach in lifting, and it seems like they're making good gains, and I'm excited to see how that's going to come forward as we move into the season. And it's often hard for freshmen to come into a school and go from being that guy that played every game to becoming a new guy on a football team and maybe having to sit your first year. But for us, traditionally, we've settled kids in to get a chance to get off and do well academically. They haven't had the pressure of trying to learn our systems, and it gives them an opportunity to redshirt, and 95% of our players, or probably more than that, have redshirted, with the few exceptions being punter, kicker, long snappers, those specialty type positions. As we look at our offense, one of the big things that we're talking about is that we have to be more efficient. We have to be able to move the chains. We have to convert on third downs, and then when we get down to the red zone, it's sticking that drive together and finishing it and putting it in the end zone. And those are the things that we're really harping on with our kids is sustaining drives by converting on third downs and scoring when we get in the red zone. I felt like our offensive line had a very good year, and they're coming along, and that's a veteran crew, and so there are some very solid, very good players there, starting off, of course, with a guy like Jeremy Bell and Seth Malcolm. Those two guys on the left side of our offensive line, are very good players, but we have depth and we have solid players throughout our offensive line, so it's exciting to see all those guys coming back and coming together. We have some solid wide receivers as well, and we're excited about that. So as we move forward, we feel like, hey, we want to be able to put the ball in, run it in behind our offensive line, be able to play action and execute on offense extremely well. Defensively, again, we should be very good up front, with guys like Cody Goldsworthy and Garrett Ross, and in our internal defensive linemen, we have some very solid players there, and then at linebacker, we got a guy like Marvin Wright that's coming back for us, who's a very good player, and we're expecting in the defensive backfield some big things from guys like Graham Hubble and Travis Tidwell, and so defensively, we feel like we should be very solid, but also saying that we got to do a better job of taking the football away from teams. We didn't get very many turnovers or takeaways last year, and so we need to be more efficient at that, and we have to be more productive on third downs on defense as well. One of the things as a whole team, as we look at it, is that we have to be efficient. We have to understand the importance of every single possession, and do the things that we need to do offensively and defensively in those possessions to get ourselves moving forward on the field or getting off the field. Absolutely. We want to take a look at where it is that we can attack our opponents, what it is that we do well. I think Coach Thomas has done an outstanding job of getting our players to buy into what it is that we do, and we've had some very good productivity from that team, whether it's a punt block or a kickoff return, or covering kicks. All of those areas, I think we did and have done an outstanding job. Also in punting the football and and switching field position. So we have to continue to be outstanding on special teams. That's critical. It's a huge part of the game. It's almost 30% of a football game. It's a tough schedule, and so again, as we talk about it, when you play teams like Truman State and you play teams like Hillsdale, those teams fit in very well with what it is that we face in the GLIAC as we move forward in each and every game, and so Truman State won their last 4 games, so they're going to be feeling good about themselves. We're going to go down to their place. They'll be ready to go, and they have a good football team, and so for us, again, going back to it, being smart, playing good, solid possession football, taking control of the clock, converting on third downs, getting ourselves off the field on defense. Those are all big things, and then playing well in special teams. Sounds kind of generic, but in a lot of ways, that's the nuts and bolts of football. And the same way when you look at Hillsdale, going to be a very solidly coached football team that will come in here to play, and when we'll get a chance to open up at Sherman Field and see the new stands and play in that environment and I'm excited to see how that's gonna start to unfold, and I'm excited for our team to play in that environment. And then as you get into the GLIAC season, hey, you know, it's tough each and every week. You have to be ready to play. You have to play great football. It's a great league. It's one of the best leagues in the country. I think there's an excellent chance for a team to come out of our league this year that could win a national championship. You know, so if we do our job and we move forward, we put together wins and we string together wins and we get in the playoffs, there's no reason why that isn't at the realm of something that we can do. And that's what you're always trying to do, and what you're always striving for is to be good each and every week. Take it one game at a time, one play at a time, and move forward in the GLIAC. There's no other way to do it. Well, it's awesome, you know. And so to our contributors, the people that have donated money, you know, again, a huge thank you. You know, has to go out to you know, Tom Curley, you know, the previous head coach. You know, he was a major player on going out and you know, and getting people to give to this project, and it's been exciting watching it come up over the course of summer, and it's going to be great for our players to go out there, you know, and see that. It creates a source, you know, of pride in my mind for all of, you know, so many people, whether, you know, it's our fans, our, you know, the friends of the school, the alumni of the school, parents that are coming in, current students, or, you know, our pep band, which is one of the best in the country, you know, and then our players obviously benefit from it when they get up here and they get to see the excitement level that those fans and those people that are, you know, Husky supporters, you know, are bringing to that first game at Sherman Field. I think a lot of them we've already touched on. It's understanding that each and every possession is important, that we can be good as long as we keep our focus on what is in front of us in the here and now, and we continue to move forward each week. You know, obviously execute well on offense, get ourselves off the field on defense, and be solid and be, you know, and be as good as we were last year on special teams.